Kit Kats Can Read. Hey guys, it's Katie and welcome to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you 5 books that Booktube made me buy. Now these are just 5 random books that I have selected from the bookshelf behind me that I simply remember purchasing just because of Booktube. So without further ado, let's get started with the 5 books I'm going to share with you today. The first book that I'm going to talk to you about is Alive by Scott Sigler. Now I remember all of the big booktubers like Jessie and all that, they were like pretty much reading this at the time, and I really liked the premise of this story and it just sounded really interesting. I remember it being about a teenage girl that wakes up inside a coffin and they have no idea who they are, where they are and how they got there. I just really liked the sound of that, and I really like books where the characters just have no idea about anything. They're just like, who are they, how do they get there, and where do they go from there, sort of thing. So I ended up getting it. Unfortunately I still haven't got around to reading it, which, you know, makes me feel really bad because I remember like buying it for a reason, but I have put it on this bookshelf, which means that I've bumped it up my TBR out of all of the like near enough 2,000 books that I own. So it must mean that I want to read it pretty soon, but yes, I'm putting it on this shelf, so I will hopefully get this read this very year. The next book that I purchased all because of Booktube is of course Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Yes, unfortunately I still haven't read this. I know they've made the movie, I still haven't seen the movie. I do kind of want to read the book first before I see the movie, and I have put it on a couple of my TBRs now and I still haven't got around to reading it, and I don't know why I haven't, because like it's kind of like a virtual reality in a book and I'm a gamer, so this should be my sort of book, but I've owned it for quite a while now and I still haven't read it, so I've put it on my shelf. So again, it's another book that I'm going to attempt to read. But look at this edition of the book, guys. The writing is very small, and that's probably like off-putting enough because this book also has like near to 400 pages, but 400 pages is really small font. Feels like it's like double the amount, but hopefully I can get around to reading this book very, very soon. The next book that I purchased all because of Booktube was Beauty Queens by Libba Bray. Again, I've had this book for quite a while, and this video is also pretty much becoming a very, very shameful video because they are books that I've had for a while and I still haven't got around to reading them. Now this book I really like the sound of. I know it's kind of got like hit and miss sort of thoughts and feelings on this book, but I know it's kind of like contestants of a beauty pageant and they end up, I think, being stranded on an island. And I love the cover of this book. I think it's really cool, like with the bullets on the beauty pageant body. I think that's really, really cool. So, you know, now it's getting towards summer and, you know, islands and that sort of thing, like I definitely look forward to reading it, and again it's on this bookshelf, which means it's a very high priority of mine. This next book that I purchased all because of Booktube, it's a fairly recent purchase of mine, as in I got it this year. So that is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Kerry Maniscalco. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this series, the first book and the sequel, and I think the third book, whether it's released now or not I can't really remember. But yeah, I just have really, really good things about it. And what's interesting is that it's James Patterson that's like published these books, and my nan is a massive fan of James Patterson, and yeah, I've heard really, really good things about this book, and it's definitely on a lot of people's top books of 2017 for last year, and that's purely why I bought this book. So I know that it's based on obviously Jack the Ripper, but yes, I'm looking forward to reading it soon, and again it's on this bookshelf, so it's a very high priority of mine. And the last book that I purchased all because of Booktube that I'm going to mention in this video, obviously there's loads more, but today I'm going to talk about 5, and that is The Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. So this book, now I originally bought the paperback, but I've given that to Ben because I rebought, well, I bought all the other books and then rebought this one in the hardback edition for really, really cheap actually, and I still haven't read this book, and this was on like my very, very first book haul. Feeling very, very guilty for that, and I need to read this in order to watch the TV show because I still haven't watched the TV show, and I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, Kate, what are you doing? What are you doing? You need to watch the TV show, you need to read the book. And I feel like I'm one of the only people that hasn't read this book, and I feel really bad because of it. So I'm going to try at some point to read this book this year. It's very, very big and scary, but when I'm in the mood for fantasy and I've got no review books planned, I will dig into this book. That's the deal I'm going to make with you guys. So there you go, those are 5 books that Booktube have made me purchase all throughout the years. Like I say, it's also a guilty sort of book haul because they are books I haven't read, but I kind of picked those on purpose. I didn't pick books that I'd read that I bought because of Booktube, because like I'm hoping that when I sort of do these videos I will feel guilty that I haven't read these books, and to be honest it kind of does have that sort of effect to me, especially Game of Thrones, which I've had ever since I started Booktube. So it's crazy, but like I say, all these books are on this bookshelf, which are very high top priority of mine. So once I've got all of my review books out the way, then I can focus and move on to books I want to read and go from there. But do let me know down below in the comments if you've read any of these books that I've mentioned in today's video and what you liked about them. Even if you didn't like it, just sort of mention it down below in the comments, because that's the great thing about books and talking about them. We all have likes and we all have dislikes. Or if you guys also have these books on your TBR as well, if you'd be interested in doing a buddy read and so on and so forth. But I hope you guys are going to have an absolutely fantastic day wherever you are. Keep smiling, keep reading and be happy. My name is Katie and I'll see all of you wonderful awesome people in my next video. Bye!